Hi guys, benvenuti in Italia. I'm Andrea Verona, Gas Factory Racing rider. Come to see what happens at the WPTGlobal FIM EnduroGP World Championship Round 3 here in Italy.
Located in the northern Emilia-Romagna region, the charming town of Carpenetti hosts the Grand Prix of Italy, Round 3 of the 2022 WPTGlobal FIM EnduroGP World Championship. Locals and visitors alike enjoy the quaint restaurants, cafes, and beautiful architecture of the town's center, which is surrounded by the green rolling hills and pine-covered low mountains that make the area ideal for enduro riding and racing under the watchful eye of the Carpenetti Castle. Before the third round of 7 in the 2022 World Championship kicks off, we hit the paddock to catch up with some of the favorites in what's turning out to be a very tight race for the world title, with Australia's Will Rupright in the lead on 68 points after a clean sweep of the first of 2 Portuguese GPs this season. Only 1 point separates the top 3 in the overall standings.
1 point is nothing in the scheme of things, and it's still very early days in the championship. I understand the guys are just as hungry as I am, so I've put a lot of effort into walking my test, and I know them inside out now, so just taking a lot of confidence. I know I can get the job done if I'm riding to my potential. So now it's just all about getting in the right mindset and executing.
And how is Andrea Verona feeling before the Grand Prix of Italy?
For sure it's going to be a special weekend because to race in front of your home crowd is always nice, and I hope there is going to be a lot of people here cheering for me and for all the other Italian guys. Talk about the standing, yeah, me, Garcia and Rupert are really close, so yeah, I have to keep the focus and try to focus on my riding, on myself, and try to go as fast as I can on the special test, and after the results come.
Finally, how is Josep Garcia preparing for the next round in the title race?
Well, the plan is, like always, give my best, stay focused and battle for the top step, for sure. But yeah, at the moment I'm not thinking with the championship. I'm race by race. Now we are in Italy, so keep focused and try to do the best here.
The stage is set for an exciting weekend of EnduroGP racing in Carpenetti, Italy.
Hello everybody, we are here in Carpinetti for the GP of Italy. I'm Maurizio Michelus, the FIM track inspector, and I will present you the race. The first special test of the day is the super test that will be just a little bit longer than the one that ran on Friday evening. There is just some grass field and some artificial obstacle. The enduro test. This is like a very typical Italian style enduro test. Fast trials in the wood, fast corner and some technical part in the rocks. Extreme test is a very tricky special test. It will be only 1 kilometer longer, but the rider need more than 3 minutes for do it. It means that it's very slowly and technical. The cross test is a very big field in the grass. It's very fast with long corner, and especially for the first rider will be very slippery in the first lap.
Finally home GP, so happy to be here. Paolo is fixing the bike and getting ready the bike for tomorrow. He washed it after the training area because it was full of dust. Daniel. Ciao! Here we are, just start the super mega fantastic cross test here in GP of Italy. It looks amazing. Look, it's huge. Whew. A lot of kilometers to walk on the day before racing. A lot of hours passed like this, but it's really important to walk well the test, because you know it's really important to remember the lines, the dangerous parts, and you know, if you want to make a really good time, you need to remember very well where the test goes, how are the corners, which are the lines to take. Here we are with Alex.
Yep.
Thomas is on the back. I don't know if you can see him. We are going to like a photo shooting in a castle here in the city. How are you, Alex?
Well, now pretty good, because we are sitting in the back of the car, so we are not to drive and not to walk. So it's quite a relaxing moment that is not usual during the race weekend. Let's enjoy a little bit this moment.
Yeah. We are here with the boss.
The boss.
Race organizer is here.
Born not far away, Andrea Verona, Alex Salvini, and Thomas Oldrati are invited by the municipality to experience a VIP visit of the medieval Carpenetti Castle. Before getting down to business on their bikes, three of Italy's finest EnduroGP riders get a chance to relax and enjoy learning more about the history and culture of one of the most emblematic sites of the Reggio Emilia province.
Amazing landscape from here, and
Ciao a tutti.
ciao.
Italian manufacturer TM Racing takes advantage of the National Grand Prix to make a surprise presentation of a very special motorcycle.
This is a project that Famiglia Serafini and Mr. Alloy decide to present to the customer, because remember the 1993 model when TM win the 80cc Enduro World Championship, and in 96 the first two hit of Motocross World Championship in 125 class with the rider Massimo Bartolini. Pink was because he decided to come out from every constructor, and make something special, completely different for everyone. So from far away you can say, this is a TM bikes.
Their team riders are competing with the Retro Pink Limited Edition 2023 bikes here at the GP of Italy and in the next round in Portugal to promote the new model. In typical EnduroGP fashion, the Akrapovic Super Test kicks off the Grand Prix of Italy on Friday evening in Carpenetti. The Moto Club Crostolo has designed a high-flying, hairpin-turning course that delights the local EnduroGP fans that have come out to enjoy the show. Australia's Will Rootbright starts the season's third GP with the third best time on a track made to push the field to go full gas. With the second fastest time of the evening, Italian speedster Thomas Oldrati sends out a warning shot to his fellow competitors that he's on form on home soil. The course fits Josep Garcia's riding style like a glove, and the Spaniard charges hard to take the win in the final head-to-head race of the Akrapovic Super Test for the second GP in a row. In the paddock outside of the town center, the local feeling of far niente seems to have rubbed off on all involved in the World Championship. The usual hustle and bustle is replaced by a surprisingly relaxed ambiance as staff, teams, and riders calmly prepare for the first day of racing at the Grand Prix of Italy. After missing the second round due to wrist and shoulder injuries sustained in Spain, Steve Holcomb is back and ready for action in Carpenetti.
Hopefully I can come back and be like I was on day one in Spain. You know, I had a good race, although I had another big crash. So yeah, hopefully no crashes this weekend, that would be good. And yeah, try and enjoy the race.
Another Brit, Billy Bolt, is back as well after a surprise appearance in Italy last year, just months before becoming the first ever FIM Hard Enduro World Champion.
I have no expectations for myself. Quite a long way behind in terms of preparation for this year than where I want to be. I've had some injuries coming into the year and stuff like that, so in terms of the Hard Enduro Championship and everything in general, I'm quite far behind, so I'm just here just to have fun and race my bike.
Now meet Antoine Maguin, the most successful Belgian rider in the history of EnduroGP.
I feel good, and I'm happy to be back here in Italy for the World Championship. The race looks good, and now just one go for the race. I would like to be back in the podium, and I want have a good riding and push, and yes, for me the podium in E1 class is my objective for the week.
Bright sunshine beams down on the Parc Fermé as fans and riders anticipate the hot and dusty day of riding that awaits them in the countryside surrounding Carpenetti. The riders collect their bikes and head to the start, with all eyes focused on the top three in the world title race: Will Ruprecht, Josep Garcia, and national star Andrea Verona as they prepare to hit the track. Nine-time Australian champion Daniel Milner finds his groove in EnduroGP with his first top 5 finish and takes second in his class after switching to E1. Nathan Watson grabs a season's best 4th place in EGP and 3rd place for the second time in E2. Andrea Verona charges into the top 3 after the first Just One Enduro test and holds steady in 3rd for the rest of the day. But like on Saturday in Portugal, the E1 champion dominates his class, but never challenges for the overall lead. Will Ruprecht closes the gap on Garcia from the start, overtaking the Spaniard in the middle of the first lap. But the Australian loses 12 seconds on the second Polysport Extreme test, forcing him to settle for 2nd place overall and an E2 on Saturday. After winning Friday's Akrapovic Super Test, Josep Garcia is on fire, posting the fastest times in 6 of the day's 12 special tests.
Per poi continuare per la Junior e andare poi nella Young. E infine arriveranno i piloti della Open che oggi effettueranno.
With his rock-solid riding, the Red Bull KTM rider takes the win by 17.95 seconds in EnduroGP and Enduro 2, as well as securing a 2-point lead in the overall standings after Stage 1 of the Grand Prix of Italy. Congratulations to Josep Garcia for a well-deserved victory on day 1 in Carpenetti.
Me and Will, we are battling during all the day. He had a really good speed, but at the end, really happy to take the win in EnduroGP and the class. And yeah, I know that I can improve in some tests in some places, but tomorrow is a new day, but we have the same goal.
Joseph put up a great fight today and got the better of the exchange. Hats off to him because I was throwing everything at it, and you know, I really can stand back and be proud of my riding. I don't really think I had too much to give. A few mistakes here and there, but when you're on the limit like we were today, it's bound to happen here and there.
Joseph Garcia gets a hard-fought win. Will Ruprecht is second, and Italy's Andrea Verona stands on the podium in third. Nathan Watson and Daniel Milner round out the EnduroGP top 5. In Open Senior, reigning champion Andrea Bellotti takes every one of Saturday's tests, but falls 25.34 seconds short of the win on Sunday to Austria's Werner Muller. The Italian still maintains a very comfortable lead in the class standings over Anderson and Centenera. In Open 4-stroke, Alejandro Ceballos has his best GP of the season on his Honda. Runner-up to Jeremy Herrin on Saturday and taking a first-ever victory on Sunday. Spain's Ceballos takes the lead in the standings over Rodriguez and Reyes. In Open 2-stroke, Harry Houghton isn't quite as dominant as he was in Portugal, posting the top time in only 13 of 17 tests to extend his season's winning streak to 6 victories from 6 starts. Great Britain's Houghton now leads the Open 2-stroke standings by 24 points. It's officially a one-horse race in Junior Enduro, with Zach Pichon sweeping his 3rd round in a row, taking the wins on Saturday and Sunday, as well as posting the fastest time in 13 special tests.
Thank you very much, guys.
The Frenchman extends his lead in the standings to 33 points. In Youth Enduro, Thibaut Giraudon makes up for retiring on day 1 with the win on day 2. Harry Edmondson takes the win Saturday on his Fantic and finishes second to France's Giraudon on Sunday.
A big applause for all of them. This young guy made an amazing show today.
Great Britain's Edmondson rides away from Carpinetti with a 21-point lead in the championship standings. Back in the paddock, the EnduroGP riders and teams prep the bikes for another hard day of racing, knowing that the track has taken a beating in Stage 1 and conditions for Stage 2 will be just as hot and sweaty with even deeper ruts. Multiple world champion Steve Holcomb cracks the top 10 for the first time since the first stage of the season in Spain and takes 5th in E2. In the last lap, Joseph Garcia goes down hard, trying to close a 13.57 second gap with Ruprecht.
We have a big crash on the Enduro test number 3. There was one rider that was falling down. The information was that he was in the floor and he could not move. Immediately we stopped the special test. There were 12 riders inside. The doctors arrived to him and the first information was that there was nothing really serious. Effectively, if I didn't make anything, for sure they get all penalties here and it's going to be a mess on the last lap. So we decided not to continue the special test. We canceled that Enduro test.
He crashed hard in the last Enduro test. Probably hit something that he did not see. He started again. The doctors were there. They checked that everything was fine with him, and he finished the test and the race. Even if it was very hard, it was very painful, and he finished race and test slowly.
Daniel Milner takes 5th in EGP for the second stage in a row, but drops to 3rd in E1. The Australian jumps from 13th to 7th in the overall standings on his Fantic. 10-time Italian champion Thomas Aldradi finishes 2nd in E1 and 4th in the EGP classification and standings at the end of the day on his Honda. Another Honda Red Moto rider, Nathan Watson, posts his best results of the season, 3rd in EnduroGP and 2nd in Enduro 2. The Brit leaves Italy ranked 5th in the EGP and 3rd in the E2 class standings. Andrea Verona rides faster than Saturday, but still falls short of the overall win by 16.22 seconds. The Gas Factory rider finishes the stage 1st in E1 and 2nd place in EGP on the day and in the race for the overall world title. Will Ruprecht doesn't make the same mistakes he did Saturday, topping the overall timesheets from the first Polysport Extreme test until the finish line. The TM Buona Factory rider takes the wins in EnduroGP and Enduro 2 and heads off to the 2nd Portuguese GP of the year, still leading the WPTGlobal FIM EnduroGP World Championship standings. It's been an action-packed, suspense-filled Sunday in Carpenetti, Italy. Congratulations to Australia's Will Ruprecht and the TM Racing team for their 3rd stage win from 3 rounds of racing this season. In the final stage of the Grand Prix of Italy, Ruprecht, Verona, and Watson grabbed the podium places, with Aldradi and Milner filling out the top 5.
The heat, the duration, and also the transfer, there was no time where you could shut off your mind. So it was as mentally fatiguing as it was physically. So yeah, very happy to take the win, and I also hope Joseph is okay after having a really big crash. You know, we're in a tight battle there, so I hope he's all okay.
Italy has always had a passion for motorcycles, and it's the country with the most riders in EnduroGP. The Italian fans, or tifosi as they're known, cheer loudly for each bike as it passes by, but they make the most noise for local favorites like Andrea Verona. Unfortunately, the E1 World Champion doesn't score enough points to climb to the top of the overall leaderboard after his home Grand Prix. After a fantastic weekend of racing in Carpenetti, Will Ruprecht still leads the title race with Andrea Verona now in 2nd, while Joseph Garcia slips back to 3rd. The final standings are the most important numbers in EnduroGP, but all the little victories along the way count for something too. Only 5 riders managed to win a special test in Italy. The main battle was between Garcia and Ruprecht, but Italian riders won the rest of them. 2021 Junior Enduro World Champion Matteo Pavoni posted 3 of the top times, while Andrea Verona and Thomas Aldradi each won 1 test in Carpenetti. With plenty of thrills, spills, and chills, it's been another spectacular weekend of EnduroGP racing here in Carpenetti, Italy, in every single class and category. If the first 3 rounds are anything to go by, the rest of the season is going to be insane.
Sorriso sulle labbra ed è diciamo
Coming up next, the WPTGlobal FIM EnduroGP World Championship heads off to Portugal for the second time this season. We'll see you there.